What if I told you that one company has the power to control everything? Your money, your government, even your future. And most people don't even realize it. BlackRock is not just another corporation. It's not just a financial firm. It's something much bigger. Some say it secretly owns the world. Others believe it's too powerful to fail. But what happens if it does? Welcome to the final chapter of our BlackRock deep dive. In part 1, we uncovered how BlackRock became the most powerful company in history. In part 2, we revealed its AI supercomputer, Aladdin, a system so advanced it predicts financial markets before they happen. But what if I told you that was just the beginning? In this final episode, we dive into the most shocking theories about BlackRock's true influence. Could it secretly own the world? Could its collapse trigger a global economic catastrophe? And the most terrifying question of all, if BlackRock is more powerful than governments, then who really runs the world? This is the final part of our BlackRock series, and you don't want to miss what we're about to uncover. Some call BlackRock a financial empire, a hidden monopoly that influences everything, from the cost of living to the leaders of nations. Others believe it's part of a global agenda, using its financial power to force industries, businesses, and even governments to comply with its vision. One of the most debated theories is this: does BlackRock secretly own the world? Take a look at the biggest companies on the planet: Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google. The top shareholders: BlackRock and Vanguard. Some researchers estimate that these two firms control stakes in over 90% of the companies listed on the S&P 500. So what does that mean? It means that what we see as competition, Google versus Microsoft, Coca-Cola versus Pepsi, Pfizer versus Moderna, may not be real competition at all, because if BlackRock and Vanguard own significant shares in both, then they win no matter what. This raises a disturbing question. Is capitalism really about free markets? If two financial giants influence nearly every major corporation, is there really competition? Or is the global economy being carefully managed behind the scenes? BlackRock isn't just a shareholder in corporations. It has influence over banks, energy companies, pharmaceutical giants, and even the media. BlackRock has investments in major media outlets: CNN, Fox News, the New York Times, Disney. If one company has financial stakes in competing news organizations, could it influence how stories are reported? Could it shape the narrative around political events, financial crises, or global conflicts? Some believe BlackRock and Vanguard are part of a larger plan to centralize economic power, a future where traditional governments become weaker and corporations, particularly investment firms, quietly take control. This connects to another theory, that BlackRock is a driving force behind the Great Reset. Through its push for ESG policies, environmental, social, and governance, it is forcing companies to adopt new rules. Rules that could reshape society in ways the public never voted for. Critics ask, if BlackRock can influence laws, corporations, housing, energy, healthcare, and even the information people consume, then does it already control the world? BlackRock denies these claims. It states that it is simply an investment firm managing money on behalf of clients. It argues that it doesn't own these companies. It just holds shares in them. But that's exactly the problem, say its critics, because ownership isn't the real issue, control is. When a company has the power to shift markets, decide which industries receive funding, and influence the policies of corporations and governments, it doesn't need to own everything to be the most powerful force in the world. So what happens if BlackRock collapses? It manages the retirement funds of millions of people. It controls investments in the world's largest corporations. Banks, pension funds, and even central banks rely on BlackRock's financial models and AI-driven predictions. If BlackRock were to collapse, the shock waves would be felt across every sector of the economy. A market crash would be immediate. The moment BlackRock defaults on its obligations, investors panic. Billions, maybe trillions of dollars would be pulled from the stock market overnight. Companies that relied on BlackRock's investments would see their stock prices plummet. Businesses would struggle to secure funding. Layoffs would begin. The economy would spiral downward. And then there's the housing market. BlackRock is one of the largest real estate investors in the world, owning stakes in countless properties and rental markets. If it collapses, the housing market could be thrown into chaos. The banking system wouldn't be safe either. Many major banks use BlackRock to manage their assets. If BlackRock fails, banks could lose billions overnight. Governments might be forced to step in, triggering another financial crisis. And then there's the pension funds. Millions of retirees rely on pensions invested through BlackRock. If BlackRock collapses, what happens to their savings? Would governments step in with bailouts? Would taxpayers be forced to cover the cost? Or would people lose everything they worked their entire lives to save? The big question is, would governments let BlackRock fail? Or would they step in, just like they did for banks in 2008? If BlackRock is truly too big to fail, then no matter how risky its investments are, no matter how much debt it takes on, it will always have a safety net. And if that's true, then the financial system is not a free market. It's a system where the most powerful players never lose. So the ultimate question is this: is BlackRock too big to fail? If it collapses, the financial system itself could collapse with it. Stock markets would plunge, banks would suffer enormous losses, housing markets could spiral into chaos, governments might be unable to pay out pensions. Ordinary people, who never even knew they were connected to BlackRock, could wake up to find their savings wiped out. If BlackRock is too big to fail, then it's already more powerful than governments. If no one can stop it, if no one can regulate it, if no one can hold it accountable, then who really controls the world's economy? We are no longer just talking about a financial firm. We are talking about a force that can move markets, influence policies, and reshape global industries with the push of a button. BlackRock doesn't just invest in the future. It has the power to create it. And that raises one final, terrifying question. If BlackRock has become more powerful than governments, then who truly runs the world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, where we uncover the hidden truths shaping our world. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, because the most powerful forces are often the ones we never see.